just let that all catch up. Well, another week, and in fact, this is the first hobby hangout live stream of December 25. So that's exciting in itself. We're getting closer to Christmas. Not there yet, but we're getting closer. And that's encouraging, I think. Tonight we're continuing with the 6mm Napoleonics. I am working, or I have been working this week on the 1st Guards Battalion, and I thought today I'd look to try and finish that and then do a bit of work on some casualty figures that I've been putting together. So we'll do all that tonight, hopefully, all being well. But I just thought, while we're starting off tonight, I will just get some of the bases painted up so that they can be drying. So once I'm done with the uniforms and stuff, I can just pull them straight off. So that's the plan. That's what I'm doing right now. What have you guys been up to? I'm not sure if anybody's actually on. Yeah, maybe one person. Who knows who that is going to be? Is it going to be Steve? Is it going to be Johan? Is it going to be one of the other greats that tune in weekly? We will find out. So stay tuned. Feels like watching an episode of Batman from the 1960s. Same bat time, same bat channel. What good television that was. Brilliant. Right. Well, welcome. If you have joined us, I know one of the people watching is me on my laptop, just so I can see what's going on, see the comments in the chat. But there is one other, so yeah, if you're by a keyboard, do let us know what you're up to this evening. It's all very exciting. Really pleased to have got started on these on the guards, to be fair. I think they're going to be a lot of fun. And I don't know why I say they're going to be a lot of fun, because they are a lot of fun to paint. They're not going to be, they are. But I think, getting them on the table and what they're going to look like when they've got their colours and all that, I think that'd be good. So yeah, just started off with the 1 battalion. Thought I would give that a go with the brigade commander, and then I will look to get the other 2 battalions that make up the brigade. So this brigade is only it's a guards brigade, and it's only got 3 battalions. So I think it's 2 battalions of the 1st Guards, I think now, or the 1st Foot Guards. Can't remember the exact title. And then I've got 1 battalion of Coldstream Guards. So I shall aim to get them painted up and then get the flags. I need to do some movement trays and all that, but I could do that over the weekend. Good evening, Gabs. Good to see you again on the live stream with us. Thanks for joining us. In case you missed that, we're working on 6mm Napoleonics, if you can't tell from the screen. Now, I did have somebody on one of the previous live streams say, "Oh, I just can't really see. Can we do close-ups, that sort of stuff?" My setup here, I mean, I can do a close-up like that. Not sure how good that is, but basically, a lot of the stuff that I'm painting will end up being in a video where you'll get a closer look. So don't panic if you can't quite see it. I will try to do some more close-ups on the live stream so you can see, but yeah, essentially best opportunities to see them is on my showcase videos, of which there is one on this Sunday. So this Sunday's episode will be a what do I call it? A showcase video where we'll be looking at the first completed brigade of this project, which I'm really excited for. Really pleased to have got it done. Yeah, it's encouraging. Although I do need to double check that I've actually, because because I've done all the filming. I want to say I've done all the editing. Might need to double check that. Make sure I'm not just resting on my laurels when there's still more to be done. Anyway, that is good stuff. Right, let's crack on with these. I've done most of the uniforms. I've done most of the equipment. We're going to be moving on to the muskets next. So I'm just going to use some of this acrylic chocolate brown, which is just a nice cheap acrylic paint, but it works well. Does the job I need it to. So we'll just get a little bit of this done. And then we'll move on to, I'm not sure what we'll move on to. Headdress, maybe? Yeah. Good evening, Paul. Looking forward to seeing that vid. Just started my own 6mm Napoleonics. Oh, that's fantastic. Which figures have you gone with, Paul? I'll be curious to know. Mine are all Bacchus. And I am following the lead from the wonderful James Wright, who I've been talking to a lot on Facebook Messenger. He just a really, really top bloke, and he's been doing a fantastic job with his 6mm Napoleonic project. So yeah, really, really cool. But yeah, let us know. I'm curious now. Bacchus, nice one. I have to say, I'm really enjoying the figures. Like, there are elements where I go, sort of slight miscasts here and there, but generally speaking, they're really nice figures, and they're absolutely for the price you pay. So I bought a pack of infantry, standard line infantry, and I got 4 battalions out of it. So I do 6 strips of figures per battalion, which I think is all right. It's I'm gonna work it out. Is it 24 figures? 6 times, yeah, 24 figures. But they're really quick to paint. I really am enjoying them. I don't know if it'll be of any help, Paul, but I do have a tutorial, like a painting guide, on the YouTube channel. So feel free to check that out. That might be of some help. That tells you what colours I'm using for the various different bits of uniform. Also got one on there, movement trays, if that's of any use to you. Again, it's just I make videos to try help people and encourage people in the hobby. That's really about it. And I enjoy it. I enjoy making videos. But there we go. Cool. So more importantly, Paul, which part of the Napoleonics War are you looking to game? And following that, I'll tell you some really exciting news that I've got for you all. In due course. Right, we are getting there. Getting there. Oh, I know what I forgot to do on that one. Rifle butts. A dab, a dab, a dab, and a dab. Okay, maybe Paul's still typing. Anyway, so exciting news this week on the purchases front. So I did get an email saying that I think it was a Cyber Monday, Warlord Games, sort of bargains and all that to be had. So not really being somebody who does a lot of shopping at Warlord anymore. I used to once upon a time, but not so much these days. I thought, well, I'll just pop over and check them out, see what they've got, because I thought I'd ages ago download or purchased and downloaded the Albion Triumph supplements, which for black powder, but they cover Napoleonic period, and specifically Volume 1 or is for the Peninsula War, which is where I'm most interested in. So I thought, have I got it? I did a lot of searching on my computer and I haven't got it. So I thought, right, I'm going to go onto Warlord's website, see what this sale is and see what it includes. And on the ebook front, I got lucky. They were doing what were they doing? They were doing the Black Powder version 2 rulebook, which I haven't got. Not that I'm too worried about it, but I haven't got it. They were selling that for £10 as an ebook rather than £20. So I thought, why not? Just in case I've missed anything that's really important. And then the 2 Albion Triumph books were £5 each. So I thought for £20, I'm going to get the rule book and the 2 supplements. I wasn't all that worried about the 100-day campaign, which I think is the Waterloo stuff, but I thought it wouldn't be bad to have it just in case I branch out later down in the road. Because knowing my luck, I will, and then I'll think, oh, I wish I'd got that. But anyway, yeah, so I got those. Really, really happy that I've got them because they've got some good information in army lists and scenarios, stuff like that, which might be really useful. So yeah, so I'll pick those up. Really pleased about that. Paul's come back. I'm building a Peninsula army at the moment, still struggling painting too much detail. Watched your tutorial vids and they got me into the 6 mil range. Still a beginner painter, but slowly improving. Well, Paul, first of all, thank you for watching my videos. Really, really appreciate it. Hopefully you're finding it useful. I don't know how much you can see of what I'm doing here, but honestly, it's just the dots. Mostly I do dot painting, which means I just do dots of paint on. If you use a black base coat, then I find that creates some shadow and depth, and then the rest of it, as they say, is just nice and easy, really. Yeah, don't worry about detail because you're not going to see it. 3 foot rule, but hey, good effort for getting into it and giving it a go, because that is in itself a challenge. I can remember when I've lost the painting mojo, and just getting back to painting is quite challenging, I find. But yeah, no, well done, and welcome to the hobby if nobody's welcomed you yet, and if they have, well, welcome again. But it's, hopefully you're finding it a fun hobby and a welcoming community. That's the most important things, I think. If we get those things right, then our hobby will grow. And generally speaking, I think it is. To be honest, I think there are more and more people who are getting interested in it, which is encouraging. So there we go. Right, that is all the browns. I've got a few other bits to do. What are we going to tackle next? Don't know. Evening, Steve. What's occurring? Well, what isn't occurring, Steve? We have some 6 mil Napoleonics on the table. I am doing a battalion of guards, foot guards, and I've got the battalion commander. No, not the battalion commander, the brigade commander also. And then we've got Gabs on, and we've got Paul. Paul's, I think, possibly new to the channel, so big welcome to Paul. But he's doing a 6 mil Bacchus Napoleonic army after watching somebody on here trying to do some painting of Napoleon. I can't think who that was. Anyway, yeah. That's no dig at you, Paul. That is just me trying to be funny. But so yeah, don't worry about that. Paul, yeah, great undercoat. I've had difficult to pick out the different parts. Going to give the black a go this weekend. Yeah, well, funny you should say grey, because I actually tried grey to start with and then did like a light white dry brush over the top to pick out the detail. But I really didn't get on with it very well. And the black has just been revolutionary. I mean, it means you don't have to paint the hats for a start, the shakos, which is always a good win. Right, let's get the gold pen out. If you haven't got one of these, definitely get one of these, Paul. Really useful. It's just a Sharpie, metallic Sharpie pen, and it makes the world a lot easier. I do believe somebody, I can't remember who it was, maybe AK, have done a set of paint pens. So you're literally just painting your figures with pens, which sometimes is really useful and, you know, much easier. There are obviously some scales, such as 6mm, where you couldn't do everything. Not with this tip; it's far too thick. But yeah, we are winning. Oh, I've got to do some white next. Let's do some white, and then hopefully those muskets will dry, and then I will come along and what am I going to do with the? Oh, I'm going to add the metallic to the rifle, the musket barrels and stuff. Yeah, we'll get there. We will get there. But Paul, half of painting is about experimenting and seeing what works and what doesn't work. So don't feel bad about that or put off. We all do it, and I'm sure Steve will echo that. Are you painting the facings again? Found picking these out difficult. Well, I am. I haven't done it yet tonight, but I am. It is on the list of things to do. So I will go through that so you can see it. I've mentioned this in video. I think my painting tutorial I mentioned this, but I've mentioned it on the live stream that with the facings, you do it very oversized, and it's all about having it there so that the eye catches it, sees it, and goes, "Ah, yes, that's what that is." In the brain, because the brain's expecting it to be there, and if you don't put it there, it almost looks like it's missing something. But we will go over that. I do actually need to work out what color blue I'm going to use because these have got blue facings, but and this is so I'm going to do their webbing belts, their cross straps, and this is really, I'll see if I can how close I can get it so you can see, but basically this is where that whole dotting technique goes. I do 3 dots, 1, 2, 3. That's it. 3 dots of white paint. 1, 2, and 3. What it does is it gives an impression, and I know I'm holding them close to the camera, probably not as close as I need it to be, but all it does is it gives an impression, and that's what we're going for at this scale. So you see red arms and you see a white chest, and that is all your brain needs to, or all your eyes need to see for your brain to then acknowledge, oh yeah, they are wearing what they should do. All right, that is it. I'm just going to, while I'm here on the white, I'm just going to do the 2 dots on the back for the webbing straps, or the straps that basically hold the pack together. And again, we are just looking for dots of paint. That is it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and that, so those figures pretty much done. So that is all it takes, and they will look rough to close up. That's why you don't look at small figures close up. You get big figures for that. Small figures are much better at a distance. You want a 3-foot distance really, and that will give you everything you need to go, oh yeah, that's that looks exactly like it needs to be. And the facings you won't see. Gabs, thanks very much. Really appreciate that. And Paul, I am by no means a painting expert, but trial and error, a little bit of experience in there as well, just has taught me these few little tips that are quite useful, which is why I like to share them. Because if I find them useful, I'm sure somebody else will find them useful. Basing and flags are key at 6mm. Yeah, Steve, 100% correct as always. And Steve is absolutely the man for painting. Listen to Steve; he knows what he's talking about far more than I do. But yeah, 100%. If you can get the basing looking good, and get some flags, it really does make the figures pop. And I found that with my 2mm stuff as well, actually. Really important. Cool. Right. So these guys are coming along quite nicely. But they don't take that long either, which is the nice thing. So I think I've timed myself. Battalion of these take me about an hour. And to be fair, that's not always me going at it. Because as you can see with these, like I'm literally dotting it, moving on to the next one, dotting it, moving on to the next one. Oh, that was terrible. That was really bad. Maybe I'll get away with that. Put them in the front rank so I can't see the backs. That's the other thing to learn is if you do a really poor effort on the front, put them in the rear rank. If you do a really bad effort on the back, put them in the front rank, and you don't see them as much. But to be honest, if you've done a bad job, like sometimes I do with both the front and the back, then yeah, a bit of water, wash it all off, start again. But no. These figures compared to what I started with, when I first started painting, my goodness, they were poor. I think my first ever figures I painted were some Warlord 28mm, British Paras, they're metal ones, really nice figures, and I butchered them. Terrible job. The Maroon Berets were definitely not a very maroon colour. The Denison smocks were way too green. But you know what? I just hold on to that in my memory as my first effort to painting, and now I look back at what I've done since then. My 20mm Fallschirmjäger and their smock details. So yeah. Will you be doing any cavalry tutorials? I absolutely will, Paul. And I'm really glad you mentioned that. I've got these brigade commanders, which I've been practicing a little bit of my cavalry painting, but not that won't be the tutorial. I'll do it on a cavalry regiment, which I'll be doing in due course. But yeah, absolutely. I'm glad you mentioned that because that will be for me to do. Oh, that was way too thick, Carl. Yeah, that will be one of the videos that I try to get done over Christmas, the Christmas holidays. Not sure when it will come out, whether it will be this side of Christmas or the other side of Christmas. But I will try to get that out. Because I have some figures for Household Cavalry Brigade Division. Can't remember which one yet. But yeah, really looking forward to getting them on the table. I think they'll look really cool. Right, that is the command team. Ah, yes. Now the top of the plumes. So that's just a dot on top of. I've already painted the plumes red, and now I'm literally just putting a dot of paint on the top of each of the plume, just enough so you still see the red. And then again, it might not look perfect if you look closely, but from a distance, it is it. Your eye sees it, your brain goes, oh yeah, that's exactly what it needs to look like. And the beauty is, if you're looking at these figures and you don't know what they look like because you've never seen any pictures, you don't know whether they're right or wrong. So you just take it as gospel. Now, if you have seen pictures, what you do is you look at it, your eyes register it, your brain goes into its supercomputer and pulls out what they're supposed to look like and almost like overlays that on what you're looking at, and it goes, oh yeah, that's exactly what I think it is. And it looks like British line infantry in the Napoleonic period. That's very clever, your brain. And that allows us then as painters to be able to trick the brain into what it sees versus what's actually there. Anyway, I'm going to jump off my horse for a second on that lovely bit of theory and all that good stuff. Right, happy with that. Right, what was I doing next? I am tackling the gunmetal, I think. Painting the last of my French troops this evening. That's 450 28mm Perry miniatures this year. 3 foot rule is definitely key. Oh, I don't know how you've done 450. I'm not sure I could do 45 in a year. So you're well up on me there, Steve. Paul, it's a bit easier for me as I am a Napoleonic reenactor too. That said, knowing too much means I want to paint too much detail. Yeah, and yeah, uh, great to hear you're an actor. I myself do British World War Two in the desert, which is fantastic. I love it. It's a great hobby. But this time of the year, it's pretty quiet on the hobby front. This is definitely the off season, as I'm sure you'll know. But yeah, I think when you know too much, there is that tendency to want to put in that extra bit of detail. Whereas I really don't know much at all. So I'm quite enjoying sort of bluffing it really. I've got my Wellington's infantry book. If that's showing up at all. I've got this one. That's pretty much what I'm using as my reference material. That's about it. Oh, cool. We do World War Two as well. Fantastic. Oh, that is cool. Are you? I take it you're in the UK. What was I doing next? Oh yes, come on. Actually found some GW paints the other day as I was doing a bit of tidying my desk, and I was like, oh, actually some of these are still all right, so I'm going to save them and use them. So yeah, that's probably old Mithril silver. I'm not sure they still use that, but and I know I should be using a separate paintbrush for metallic paints, but I'm not. So I'll just stick with that at the moment. Yes, UK. Paul, are you north, south, east, west? Only ask because I might have actually bumped into you at a show, but this year I don't know. This was our first season as a group, and we do desert. We are L Detachment Living History Group. In fact, we last weekend we did our Christmas party, which was a lot of fun. Probably drank too much, but northeast. Ah, right. So I probably won't have bumped into you unless you were at Victory Show. I might have bumped into you then because we were at Victory and we did the airfield raid uh, on Saturday and the Sunday, which was a lot of fun. I travelled all over. Oh, good man, good man. I'm not sure I'm that brave. I think the first I went was Leicester to do a Victory Show, which was a lot of fun. I'm glad we went, but it was quite a trek. Although I managed to get home a lot quicker than I got up there. The car always seems to know its way home. Like I'll tell you who we haven't seen this evening is Johan. I wonder what's up with him and where he's at. I know he's been building a lot of terrain recently. Cool, right, let's do some swords. Actually, that reminds me I need to do the scabbards. Now I know what colour I'm doing them. Right, that's that. You were going downhill all the way. Well, exactly. Back to the glorious south. Yeah, yeah, you're absolutely right, Steve. Had a bit of a tailwind behind me as well. Gabs, we used to do sealed knot when the kids were younger. Oh, fantastic! Oh, nice one. I mean, I've heard a lot of them. I've got a couple of friends who were in the sealed knot for a while. Um, so yeah, oh, that's cool. From the Midlands originally, I'd done Victory before a few years back. Won best display when we joined together with 3 other groups to form the British Airborne Platoon. We recreated Oosterbeek perimeter. That is awesome. That would be cool to see. I'll tell you what. Yeah, brilliant. Oh, fantastic. I just love it. It's really, really good. What colour did I use? Maybe some Luftwaffe uniform for there. So the other thing to bear in mind, Paul, for 6mm, fitted display on YouTube. Oh, might have to look that up. If you can drop a link in the chat, that would be fantastic. I'm sure lots of us on here would be keen to see that. The other thing to think about in 6mm is that colours often use lighter colours than what you think you need. So, for example, I might use a dark blue for black instead of black itself, if that makes sense. Because as you get a smaller scale, you get colour fade. So you need to go slightly brighter on your colours, if that makes any sense. There's that one. And oddly, I've got this chap who's got like a cloak on the top, so I need to work out what colour that's going to be. I have no idea. If anybody's got any ideas, of a British general, what sort of like rain cape or something would he have on? That's the question. Right, now I need to do red because it turns out that for the Guards battalions, they didn't do the drummers in reverse colours for the Guards. They would have had them in red tunics, just the same as the infantry. So I just need to get that in. And considering I've been programming my brain for the longest time to think reverse, I've now got to retrain my brain to not worry about that. And then I also need to do the extra bits for his kit. Happy days. Right, liking that. Now I need to work out what blue I'm going to use for the facings, because it should be, I think, a royal blue. But obviously a royal blue might be a bit too dark. So I need something that's not too light, but not too dark. And I've only got so many blues to work with. So this is where it all gets very exciting. I do like that drummer in red and white. That's really cool, actually. That looks really good. Yeah, like that. I could get behind that for another 2 battalions after this. I'm now really nervous, Paul, because I'm basically like talking about Napoleonics, and you know far more than me. Mind you, Steve's been like that for months now that he's been supporting this live stream, and I'm obviously have got used to Steve's presence and been like, oh, don't worry, it's okay. Right, let's find a blue. Let's find a royal blue, and I think that cool blue is probably the wrong color. What size brush? Is it better to go with a smaller brush or a large brush with a little paint on the tip? So this is a Winsor & Newton Cotman. I literally picked this up at the range for like a couple of quid, and much cheaper than it would normally be, or the other ones I've seen are. Good evening, Robert. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. We are all well, I think. We've got the wonderful Paul has joined us for the first time, so it's really good to have him. And he's started a 6 mil Napoleonic army, which I'm not going to claim that is anything because of me, but he might have watched my videos, which is really exciting. Sorry, Paul, I'm going to keep going on about that because I wouldn't call myself an influencer by any stretch of the imagination, but the fact that somebody's watched my videos and has thought, oh, that's a neat idea and has gone away and done it. I mean, that's what I usually do when I watch other people's videos, so this is very odd for me. Right, I think that sky blue is too bright. I think the blue that I'm using for the canteens is water bottles is too bright. I have this blue, which is cobalt hue. Let's see if this is the right colour. It does look fairly royal, or more royal. So what I'm going to do, Paul, I'll try and hold this up while I'm doing it. It's going to be a bit tricky because it's almost up to my sort of face level. A bit tricky. So I'm just going to put a very small bit of blue, and I'm literally just going to do a little dash just above where I've done the flesh on the hands there. I'm just doing a little swipe down. That's all I need. Now, you might not actually be able to see it. It is very, very subtle. But when I've done all of them, let me just do the last couple. I don't know about you, but I can see them. If that makes any sense. How's that? I don't know how well you're seeing that. Apologies. Really probably not going to be able to see this. Yeah, you can see it. Fantastic. So it's very small and very subtle, but it is just enough of what you need to give the impression that they've got facings, that they're there, but you're not doing a huge amount with them. If that makes any sense. I really do ramble a lot. I have to say, I feel for Steve and Robert, who have come back week after week after week. All they do is hear me rabbit on. I don't think I make much sense, but there we go. So yeah, I do the facings, and I don't know how well you can see those two next to each other. How well they give you that impression. No, I don't touch collars. Collars are too small, and I don't think you'll see them. The most important thing I think when it's around that sort of area is the face. You need enough of the face color, and if you start putting other colors in, I think you'll just lose it. So I think less is more, I think, is the advice I'd give on this. But the collars are obvious enough. Sorry, not the collars. The cuffs are obvious enough that it's worth putting them on for that. And it pops against the red. You know, seeing this blue, I'm actually thinking it might be a really good blue for the French uniforms, which I haven't got any French figures yet, but I am slightly excited to start that army. But yeah, I think this blue might be the blue I want for the French. There we go. This is actually the first set of figures that I'm actually putting on a blue facing. I've not done any up to this point that have been worn blue facing, so this is all a bit of experimenting on live on camera. Never do it. But to be fair, it's working, so I'll take that. Just goes to show we are a glutton for punishment. Yes, Robert. Yeah, I think you're absolutely right there. but you know, when you stand back and you look at it, it's just nice. When I did the video for Sunday, and I just stood back and looked at the the brigade completed. It was just such a nice feeling, um, and it really drove me on to want to do the next one, which made picking up the paintbrush for these guys really nice and easy. Um, and to be quite honest, it made me sort of think, yeah, I want to see the next brigade done so that I can see it next to that brigade. So I'm, you know, and soon I'll be having a division finish, and then I'll think, oh, I want to see what two divisions looks like. Um, and it's just a slippery slope, but honestly, really enjoyable. I think one of the other things to think about is possible eye strains. So I would suggest not doing too much painting at once. Give yourself a bit of a break. But yeah, well, I really like those. Really, really like those. If anybody can tell me whether the general of the brigade commander would have the same facings, that'd be really useful, because I haven't put any facings on my other brigade commander, and these two are here. Welcome to the curse of Napoleonics. Long shot, but do you know where I could find any historical war games groups? Found loads of Warhammer 40k groups. Yeah, there are loads of. If you look on Facebook, there are tons. So there's a Napoleonic Wargamer group. There's a 6 mil group. There's a 6 mil Wargamers and Terrain. There's just loads. So if you type in um, any of that into the search bar, you'll find groups. And there are a lot of really good ones out there. There's a tabletop network group, which is basically for all sorts of war gamers. Loads of historical stuff out there. There's Black Powder period groups as well. So yeah, you get scale specific, you get period specific. I think that's probably the kind of direction you want to look at. For Facebook groups, but Facebook's a really good community. I think there's lots of groups with lots of people posting, so well worth checking that out. Right, what else do I need to do on these guys? I think I've done everything. I need to do a little bit more on the drummer. Let's do his drum. Always good to get the drum. And then I need to do his drumsticks. Ooh. And then what else do I need to do? Drumsticks, drum. Oh, I need to do his like bread bag or thing. Yeah, small bread bag or something. Lovely, jubbly. Happy with that drum. Lovely. Let's get the right. Steve, when's the lead show? Usually the last one of the year. Might be worth going along if you are that way. About an hour and a half away. It's not Battleground because that's just happened, hasn't it? Fiasco. Is that the Leeds one? Fiasco. It might be. I thought I saw a post with somebody suggesting that was it? Oh, it might have been Great Escape Games. They said that they were attending one. I can't remember which one it was, but that was their last of 2025. But yeah, I've I've heard good things about Fiasco. I've not been myself, but might be worth checking out if it's close or if it's close enough to that right. Oh, linen. Battlegrounds Middlesbrough. Ah, yes, yeah. I know Dougie Robinson was going to Battleground. What was that? That jacket. Don't know. Did drummers have tails on their tunics, like some of the officers, or would they have had shorter tunics? I thought they were shorter tunics, in which case that is some sort of bag on his back. And I should paint it. What do you think? Tunics, are they short or are they long with tails like officers? For the drummers, I should say. And this is where the hive mind goes working away. He goes, oh yes, that's that one. They type it in and I'm winning in life. Sure, perfect. Thank you, Paul. So that means that must be something to paint in a bread bag sort of style. Perfect. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Probably going to leave these two characters, although I need to do them at some point. Same as infantry. Yeah, that's what I thought. So thank you for confirming that. Right, have I done everything there? I think so. Very nice guards. Yeah, happy with them. Yeah, I think I'm happy with them. Happy with them. The blue is interesting. It really does stand out, actually. Yeah, happy. Right. Can't see anything I'm missing. So next thing to do is I'm going to take them off their bases. This is very radical. If it's front, if it's front rank, why bother? You're not going to see it. Oh yeah, and they are front rank. So yeah, well played. See, Steve, he always comes up with the clever information that I've forgotten about. Lovely. Right, let's get these guys out of the way. Oh, I need to cut scrape off the bottoms. Lovely. Come on. Lovely. Right. Oh, some drunk guards at the back there. Right. Okay. So I'm going to do a video on these at some point, but I've got these casualty markers from Bacchus, and what I thought I would do is I've got some with one figure, and these are 10 mil wide by 20 mil, so essentially two of these to one of my infantry bases. So I've got some bases with one figure each on, and then I've got these which I've crammed two figures on. So I'm going to paint them up, I'm going to sand them, I'm going to make them look, and then what my plan is when a unit in the movement tray takes some casualties, whatever the rules call for, I can put one of these on one side. I can shift two of the base, so remove one base, shift two over, put one of these on one side, and then a blank one on the right hand side. So that's the plan. And if I can do that, then when needs be, I can take out the blank one, put another one of these in, and it would be two casualties. And then with the twos, I could potentially do threes and fours and stuff like that. So that's the thought. Whether that's going to work or not, and whether it works for the games, don't know. Might be that I just put these in to show that, disrupted and all that good jazz. Because I've heard that in Napoleonics, you don't really, in the gaming, you don't really count casualties per se, but you're looking at, disordered and all that good jazz. Paul says, well, the jackets are longer at the back, just long enough to cover the butt. Okay, so maybe that was it. Well, he's at the front rank, so hopefully we won't see it back. So I think with these guys, I'm going to paint them exactly the same. I'm going to start off with some flesh. I'm going to go through and I'm going to start to give them just a little bit of paint. And bearing in mind, it is 10 to 9. Oh, how time flies. And for those who aren't aware, this podcast, this live stream, generally I go for about an hour, because that's about the point that I start getting a bit tired from the day and I start being a bit stupid, really. No, but in all honesty, I can't imagine anybody wanting to listen to me for more than an hour. I used to be a teacher, and I'm not even sure the kids wanted to listen to me for an hour, so why you guys would. But anyway, that's here, the by the by. So I usually go to around 9 o'clock, sometimes a little bit after, depending on how things are going. Sometimes I've been known to go a bit shorter, depending. Can't see his arm. Oh, there we go. I'm still going to have a second hand. So yeah, so we'll go. We're going to do a little bit more on this, and then I'm going to call it a night. But I just wanted to make a start on these casualty figures, and I just wanted to introduce you to my plans and what I'm doing. And this is one of the benefits of coming along and watching the live stream, is that you get a little bit insider information as to what I'm up to. Lovely. This guy, I think I'm going to do him as a rifleman. He looks like he's got a Baker rifle next to him, so I thought that'd be quite fun. Lovely, lovely, lovely. That's where he's handed. Oh. Right, that one. And then I'm rather hoping that these are going to be pretty quick, because essentially they are just what I do with the other figures, just not as much of them showing. So yeah, that's the plan. Cool. So that's the flesh. We'll go over with some red paints now. As I say, I'm sort of expecting these to go pretty quickly. Not taking too much time over. We'll put some different colour trousers on him shortly. It's all about tricking the eye. Right, Rob says, sounds like a great plan. Yeah, hopefully it will come to fruition. But rather than having tokens on the table, I do prefer just getting a little bit more in the way of sort of, if you're going to have like things like disruptive markers and stuff like that, I'd rather sort of almost see them portray in a something like a figure or something like a casualty marker. All right, we are getting there. We are getting there. I do think I could actually probably get these painted in about. Well, I've just taken all of about 4 minutes to do flesh and some red on the tunic arms. And that's what I mean. I do fly through these. They're just a quick process. And I think, Paul, what you'll find is the more confident you get and the more you paint them, the more you do. Once you're happy with the technique, you'll get pretty quick at these. They really won't take you that long. Cool, right. That is that. What am I going to do next? Let's do some trousers. Let's do some white trousers. Let's see how much we can get out in the next 6 minutes. So trousers, bit of white. Lovely. Let's do the cross strap. Yep, look at that. Already he's coming to life. Oh, I probably should do a mixture, right? So let's do what am I doing? I'm doing a couple white, right, let's do some of these white. And let's do this one white here. Just trying to mix it up. Bit more visually appealing to the eye. Right, that's white there. Let's do, so if we did a white, a brown, a blue, a white, and that's going to be green. Yep. Yep, fine, happy with that. Oh, I need to do the cross straps, right? Oh no. Not all of them have cross straps because I can't see all their fronts, so no, actually I was alright. I was alright. Silly me. 5 minutes to go. How much can I get done? Let's see. Can we get the brown and blue trousers done? I think we can. I'd laugh if I can get these figures all done in 6 minutes. Slightly hampered by the paint lid not coming off. That was a shocker. Right, let's do a bit of brown here. Brown on there. There's the brown trousers. That's the blue. This is the brown. There's the brown. Let's do one of these brown, one of those blue. Oh. Happy days. Right, there's the brown. Right, let's get those done. Is the blue still wet on the palette? What period are you painting? Oh, I'm painting Peninsular War. And yeah, appreciate that they might not have all been, they might have had brown trousers. This is one of the conversations that James and Wright and myself had, because I thought they all had white trousers, and I believe that's what they were issued, but they would have, had damaged trousers, dirty trousers, trousers they picked up from locals who were selling, I don't know, replacements. So I've gone for some white, some brown, and some blue in the attempt to try to make these look a little bit more eye-catching. And that was cool. Right, that's all the trousers done. Let's go on to packs, on the back of the packs. And they fit most realistic uniforms. I'm intrigued by the Bacchus winter range, both sides in grey coats and winter basing. That would look cool. I don't know if I've actually seen those. But yeah, that would be cool. Should they? Right. Doing the sort of bed rolls across the backpacks. Probably flying through now. Perfect. Well, sufficient will pass muster. Right. that's that. They're not looking too bad, not too shabby. And of course, once I paint the ground cover around them, I put some sand on and all that good stuff. Good evening, Conrad. Nice of you to join us. Thanks for coming along. We're just doing some Napoleonic 6mm casualty figures. And now I'm trying my best to find their water bottles, which I'm just going to pretend is there. I think that's a water bottle there. That's going to be a water bottle there. Oh, he's turned over. Where is he? There he is. I haven't even touched the rifleman yet, so we'll have to do that. But that might be another day at this rate. Lovely, right. Oh, I know what I didn't do on these chaps. I haven't done their white musket straps, so I'll need to go back and do that. Let's do that immediately before I forget. These casualty markers, good start, chaps, good start. We will crack on with those. Get them sorted. Probably finish those off in over the coming days, maybe the weekend. But yeah, I just need on here white musket straps. I was waiting to see if Paul would catch that I was missing those. Only joking. He was sat there going, "Oh yeah, absolutely. You have you missed them, you plonker." That was all good. Da, da, da. Oh, the other thing I do, Paul, is I chop the bayonets off of the backers figures because I don't like them. I think they're out of proportion. I don't think they look right. So yeah, that's one thing I do, which I don't know if you've kept them or I just don't like them. And I do think they look a lot better without them, but that is a personal preference thing. So if you want them, you keep them. Yeah, bayonets far too wide. Cut mine off too. Yeah, nice. Saying nothing. I think these will be the last bit for the evening. I think because I'm pretty happy. I will be sticking these guys onto bases over the weekend. Although you've reminded me, guys, I need to go check to see if I've finished editing Sunday's video, and if I have, I know I've done the thumbnail, and I had been doing the editing. I think the question was adding music in when the figures are on the turntable turning. So yeah, I need to do that. But right, that is fairly good night's work, I think. Certainly moved this battalion on. This battalion is now ready to be based, and once they're based, I can then do the flags and all that good stuff. And once they're on there, that'll be the first battalion. Oh yeah, yeah, I am getting through my drink tonight, Robert. But thank you. Thanks, Steve. Appreciate your support. I will be around next Wednesday. I am on. So back for the live stream next Wednesday. Check out Sunday's video where I'll be showcasing my first brigade. Not these chaps, but the ones I've been working on. It does go quick, Gabs. Unfortunately, apologies. It's my yappering. It does make things go a bit quick. But yeah, I'll be back on Sunday with a video showcasing the first brigade that I've got finished, and then hopefully in a couple of weeks' time I'll have the whole of the Guards Battalion, or sorry, the Guards Brigade, on the showcase video as well. So we're getting there. Do stay tuned for the cavalry painting tutorial, which will be coming later this month, if not early January 26th. And I'll also be doing a video on the casualties once I've perfected those and finished those off. So lots to come on the channel as per usual. And thanks ever so much for your support. Really, really appreciate it. Thanks to all those who have subscribed and all that good stuff. Comments below and all that good jazz. You're all stars, really. So have a great rest of your evening. Have a great rest of your week. Enjoy the weekend. And I'll see you next Wednesday for the next live stream. Take care.